Tonight, there are questions swirling around the Diamondbacks and why star second baseman Ketel Marte mysteriously didn't show up at the ballpark in Boston today. Cam Cox is here with more. And Cam, there is still so much that we don't know about this.
Mark, Torey Lovullo summed it up great. It's a crazy day. Very rarely do you ever hear of a star player no showing a game. It's just almost unheard of, right? Ketel Marte did not show up for work today. Here's the latest. D-backs manager Torey Lovullo says Marte is dealing with a personal issue. The team is not saying, or they do not know what that personal issue is just yet. Lovullo says Marte is okay. He's not worried about him. But post-game, they weren't even sure if he was still in Boston. D-backs put Marte on the restricted list. This means a player is unable to play due to a personal, legal, or non-baseball reason. Marte arrived in Boston with the team yesterday, did not show up at Fenway Park today. Marte was expected to be in the lineup and DHing tonight. The decision to put Marte on the restricted list wasn't announced till like 10 minutes before first pitch. They had to scramble with the lineup. Marte was posting, by the way, on his Instagram story hours before the game. Here's the skip.
It's been a crazy day. All I know is that he's dealing with a personal issue. We're trying to figure that out. I knew that there was something going on today when I met with you guys, but I still believed he was going to be here. He just didn't show up.
Did you have communication with him?
Very little this morning, this afternoon, and yeah, I just was doing my best to reach out to him, and there's very little coming back.
He's here though in Boston. You don't. Is he here?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
What do you think is the way forward for Ketel?
I don't know. Just care for him and love him.
You seem a little emotional. Are you worried?
No, not really. I love him and I care for him. It'll be okay.
Great questions there from Jody Jackson on the D-backs postgame show. Now remember, this kind of happened last season after the All-Star break. Marte no-showed their first series back because he took a trip to the Dominican Republic. And according to John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports 98.7 FM, Marte did not answer team calls till they threatened to suspend him. His absence back then was not planned, not approved, and had nothing to do with his home getting broken into. D-backs got beat up by the Red Sox tonight. Mark will have more reaction coming up in sports. It's very, very telling. So they're not kind of worried about him, right? But yet, Torey Lovullo, pretty emotional post.
He looked very worried.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
Cam,
all right,
thanks.
Cam, thanks.
All right, Cam Cox is back with more on sports and more on Ketel Marte. And listen, at some point, as valuable a player as Ketel Marte is, you just can't let him continue to do this.
No, Mark, and I think that's the question moving forward is what will the punishment be after tonight? Regardless, got to say something if you're going to miss work, right? In case you missed the top of the show, D-backs All-Star Ketel Marte no-showed tonight's game because of a personal issue. It is unknown if the team knows exactly what that personal issue is. D-backs manager Torey Lovullo saying Marte is okay, but he's unsure if Marte was in Boston, right? D-backs left scrambling right before the game and then answering questions post-game.
I know there was a lot of discussions about it at different points in time in the clubhouse today. There was a lot of curiosity. You know, we care for Ketel, and you know, once we knew he was okay, I think everybody relaxed and started to focus on the game. But you know, what was the final score? 10-1, 11-1. I mean, we got our kicked. We got to be better.
I haven't talked to him.
Did you know if anything was?
No, I don't know. I don't know anything. So. Like I said, I just came here to play, and I didn't see him here, and we haven't talked yet.
Wow, no doubt the Marte situation weighing on this team tonight. They didn't put up the lineup till right before the game. Jordan Lawler is back. Guys, this was just sloppy. Corbin Carroll, like how often does that happen? Drops a can of corn in the outfield. A few more looks at this, like, my goodness, this team's in a playoff race. Then Ryan Waldschmidt misplays a ball moments later in the outfield. It's just that kind of day, folks. D-backs blown out by the Red Sox 11-1. Also, Nolan Arenado not playing today with that ab injury. Guys, back to Marte. I still don't know how to wrap my head around this situation. One of the strangest things I've ever seen covering sports.
Think about this for a second. All your years covering sports, and I certainly don't recall an incident where a star player does this.
Just no shows a game like this.
You give an explanation, a different story.
Somebody has something.
My wife's in labor. I got to go.
We're still unsure tonight if the team knows exactly what that personal issue is. And listen, regardless how tragic it is, the people are counting on you. you got to let somebody know that you're not going to be, hey, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'll call you in a week. So you have to say
and
something.
of all times, when you're in the
where
thick of it, every single game counts.
Yeah, and tonight they blew it.
Yeah.
And you could tell the weight on this team.
For sure.
You could see it in Lovullo's facial expressions and his voice. Yeah. All right, Cam, thank you.